Happy Friday, happy Father's Day. Welcome to my my adopted outdoor kitchen for today's traditional grilling segment. What we're doing today is kind of a traditional Father's Day barbecue. We're going to do some grilled veg, chimichurri sauce, and some grilled steak. Please post your questions about any kind of cuts of meat you have or are intending to cook, so I can give you some hints on doneness. Remember, thickness is important, the temperature of grill. There's a lot of things that come into play, and we'll show you some tricks and tips and tricks on how to grill to get the desired doneness. Over here quickly, I'll show you. I have, can you go a little higher, Cut? So in here, I have my steaks. I have, with the Metro, I got these nice 4 top sirloin style. I have 1 ace flank steak. Really good for marinating. All I'm gonna do with this is rub it and then I'm gonna grill it and have that for you later on. I'll show you the slices, these bad boys up. The reason why I have these out, I want these to get to room temperature or a little bit. It is like 30 degrees outside. We're not in the sun. I don't recommend leaving these out for 2 hours in the sun or 2 hours out on the counter. You know, 20, 30 minutes up to an hour, just to bring the internal temperature better so they cook more evenly. Okay, this way?
Dad, don't worry, it's fine, I got it.
Here I have the vegetables as promised. So the first thing I start with is the vegetables. I'm gonna grill these vegetables. First I have to cut them up. My handy dandy little knife here. I'm just going to prepare my veggies. And I'm gonna cut the peppers, the 2 peppers in the recipe, into larger sections so they don't fall in the grill. There are different ways of grilling these vegetables, but the one thing I like about grilled vegetables is that you can be outside, cook the whole meal outside, and enjoy this beautiful weather we're having. So first, these peppers, I like to come in triangles. So I'm just cutting each with 4 nice big segments like that. This is gonna go super quick with a very sharp knife. And into here they go. Now you can either take the dressing and you can do it one of 2 ways. You can have it and grill them plain and then dress them afterwards, like with some garlic, some salt, pepper, and olive oil, or you can do it in advance. Today I'm gonna do it in advance just because I want to display it nicely for you. I saw a picture that we had from Ella's birthday last year, almost exactly a year ago today, where we had this exact same meal. And I hope I can make it look as good and taste as good as that was. Any questions out there yet?
No, they're a quiet bunch so far.
These zucchini I'm cutting into not thin ribbons, I'm just cutting to planks. Oh, that one was a little thin. See, I'm using my different knives today. This one's have covers, they're very nice. Oh. And sweet potatoes, amazing. They take a little longer to grill, but very, very nice. I'm gonna cut these nice in thin sections here, throughout the ends.
And so you just wash those? You didn't clean those at all?
If there's any bits that are looking undesirable, then definitely trim it off. Other than that, it's going in there.
Audrey said, beautiful evening to barbecue.
Oh, yeah.
She's right. What a week we've had.
Now I'm just using a regular propane grill. If you have charcoal, great. It all depends on the temperature that you're working with. If you want to smoke these steaks and then grill them, so be it. This is up to you. Okay, so that is that in a nutshell. There we go. Let's weight my cutting board down a little bit. And I'm going to take a little bit of garlic here. I think it's 2 cloves in the recipe I asked for. If I can get it off. This is very fresh garlic. Okay, 1 nice big clove.
Is this for the vegetables?
Yeah, I'm just gonna toss this for the vegetables. So you'll see how this gets laid out. The grill is getting nice and piping hot. Nice grill marks. We're gonna pre-do the vegetables because they can sit a little while. They're okay. But we're also gonna do something very important with the steaks. Make sure they rest. I'm not sure about everyone else out there, but I know in my family they really enjoy it when you can grill the steaks and have a chance to have them rest for a while, and then I slice them, and everyone gets a nice looking plate. Everyone gets enough, and you're not wasting steak by giving someone this great big monster steak and they eat only half of it. If you raise the camera up a little bit. Okay. Tiny little knife.
Let's say no salt.
Yeah. Okay, just throw the salt in here. A little bit.
A lot of it.
A lot of it, yeah. And quickly puree that. Just a note, if you have a wooden cutting board and you're doing garlic, don't do fruit afterwards. It's gonna taste, don't do strawberries, it's gonna taste like garlic. Everything kind of is a similar flavor, and garlic kind of goes well. Don't worry about it. So I have here my veg. I'm gonna try my best to get them all coated. I have a paper towel set for that. I'm just gonna brush my mushrooms quickly, make sure there's no dirt on them. I'm not gonna use all of them because I said 4 portobellos, and this is really like a family of 4. So when you see the mound of veg that's here, it's pretty incredible. But I would recommend, if you do grill this veggie leftovers, this goes great in a salad. It's a great side dish for a salad if you don't have anything else to go. So put some garlic. Now you know what? How do you think this?
Oh.
Well, I was going to do like a dressing in a bowl or something.
I can get you a bowl.
Please, yes. Actually, no, it's okay. We got this. All right. I'm gonna improvise. Okay. This pan just covering my steaks. Okay, so it has colors in there. It's gorgeous. I take the bowl I have from here. The garlic goes in. Some nice olive oil. Healthy amounts. Some pepper. That's enough. And with salt. Okay. Cooking outside is kind of fun, but you have to plan ahead a little bit. Make sure you have everything in the outside, or else you'll forever be going in and out, in and out, in and out. You had a question, Lane?
No, just Mita is asking what are we cooking today because she signed in a little late. So you want to give everybody a little recap while I post?
We're doing a Father's Day barbecue, kind of something that Dad can either brush up on his tricks, kids and Mom can help out, make a nice, beautiful supper. Very simple. The shopping list is on the invite. Lan posted that on Facebook.
I will put it in the comments as well.
Yeah, it'll be in the comments as well. Okay. Everything is looking nice and seasoned. I'm loving this. We're gonna get this on the barbecue. More or less unattended. There is oil on these. So we'll walk over here, Kai, and we will. This is blazing right now. I think the back burner's on too. No, it's not. All front burner's on. So my mushrooms I'm gonna put in the back because they can stand up a little longer. I didn't take the gills out. You can take these little gills out with a spoon if you want to. It can bleed black color if you're doing it for salad, but I'm not too fussy when it comes to those guys. And you'll see why we're doing this as the first step, because these take a little bit of time to cook, and I can just put them aside and just keep them warm or covered, and while steaks are resting, fire back on for a little while. I'm just trying to get some of these grill marks These zucchini will be pretty quick. The sweet potatoes are going to take a little bit of time. I'm going to use the whole grill surface, and I'm going to take a moment just to make sure that everything gets on there. And the peppers I'm going to throw up here for now. Everyone's got a top rack on their barbecue. And I'll rotate these out once these are ready.
Audrey likes your t-shirt.
Ah, thanks. I love bacon. Doesn't everybody? It's like a statement you can just say, and you can't really argue it. There's no bacon.
Love the color on that grill. Looks awesome.
Yeah, the rainbow grill. Okay, we're good there. I'm just gonna rinse my hands on my soapy water over here. I think Mom
That's
didn't
a good outdoor trick too.
Mom didn't want you to get her in the camera.
Nah, that's okay. I'm cute anyways.
She's super cute. Okay. So those are grilling. I have a couple minutes free. I'm gonna start getting my chimichurri.
Dad, did you close the grill?
Thank you for reminding me. To keep the heat in, close it. If it's smoking too much, I think you're too late. It may be like on fire. But check on that from time to time. Chimichurri sauce. I brought my food processor from home. This is something we kind of fumbled across. This requires garlic, jalapeno, lime, and some red onion, as well as olive oil, red wine vinegar, some salt, pepper, and all these fresh herbs. We'll add some of these.
This is a huge hit.
Yeah, it's surprising. Chimichurri sauce I've never really been big into. We did it last year at the student center for a couple events, and then I started doing it at camp all the time. It's good for a marinade. It's also good for a nice refreshing topping.
Are we doing the herbed butter?
No, we decided to do this for Ella instead because in honor of her birthday.
Yeah, Ella's birthday is on the 20th.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Yeah, Eric's on the 23rd. He's branded too. Next up. Okay. I'm not even care too much about chopping these up. Recipe calls for half. I'm doing full because I'm gonna bolster my recipe a little more.
Dad,
So
articulate.
I'm just bolstering my recipe a little more.
I
Yeah.
heard the B word.
Oh, okay. You heard some nasty. You heard something possibly nasty in there?
Yes.
Never. Not from your dad.
No. Come on.
No, but I just a little bit.
Okay. Can I ask you just to
You made a job.
do a couple minutes?
Yeah.
Okay. This way. My tongs. Sorry. My tongs. Okay. Here. And my long tongs out. My mushrooms are looking beautiful. Back there, lots of heat for these guys. They're looking gorgeous. I have just nice grill marks, one side and the other. You notice, remember I put the sweet potato on first. I'm gonna leave those on because they're gonna get a little more char on them. The zucchini, however, is a little more tender and a little bit thinner, and it's gonna cook a lot faster. Oh, by the way, the grill was clean. I didn't scrub it down before I got here, just so you know.
Because it's Lucy's grill. Of course
Yeah.
it's clean.
And I'm just gonna put these skin side down now. And the last thing I'm gonna turn are the sweet potatoes. That is the last thing I want to turn, and also the last thing that's gonna come off the grill. And again, I'm gonna take these, I'll put them back in the pan or the tray I have, and just cover them so they stay warm until I get the steaks grilled. Boom. Nice. Let's color in these. Be mindful of your hot spots. Every barbecue has them. Usually in the back, or between the grates, where the plates match up. But I do love doing this kind of recipe because it's so quick and easy. And pretty much you can go to anyone's house and bring steaks and the veggies, cut them up and grill them. It's what do you call it? Guerrilla barbecuing, I would call that. Drop by someone's house with supper all ready to go.
No one would say no to that, Mika, I'm sure.
Especially if you had a contest to win, like, you know, I'd come to your home and cook for you.
Oh boy.
That'd be fun. Okay, I am liking this. I'm trying to temp down a little bit. Everything's kind of grilling. I don't want anything to burn. You can see again nice color and everything. Let's go back to this. I have some garlic peeled.
Well, sorry, I didn't peel it.
Okay.
They are the largest cloves I've ever seen.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do 2 of these large cloves. I'll taste it after, see what I think. They're pretty massive. Again, the jalapeno, I did a whole one. I de-seeded them for the most part, and that's where all the heat tends to come from, is the seeds. And this is super simple, but before we get to this, I am going to I'll get everything ready in the food processor, and then pull my veg off, then get my steaks on. Any questions about steaks?
You're on camera, Grandma.
No, Mire says she would definitely let Chef Mika cook for her anytime. Consider this your open invitation.
So, no problem. I have a cup of parsley, roughly. I'm up a little bit. I have this, a nice big bunch of cilantro. We did a full head of each. And I still have a little bit left over. I'll put it aside for now. Thank you. Yes. Oregano calls in recipe. You can use mint as well. They're similar family. I really enjoy mint, and I think when I was shopping, I boo-booed. But I put a little bit less mint, a couple tablespoons in there. I'm gonna take my half an onion.
Il est même pas passé là.
Lids to it. Oh. Take a second here. Let's go get the veg off before I continue. It's more important. So these are going to last, just like before. These are just going to get nicely displayed on my platter. Now this here, you can cover with foil afterwards. I'm just thinking how I'm going to keep it warm. The pan I have on the side, I'm just going to invert it. I may throw it in the other barbecue. We'll see what happens there. My peppers, I'm going to throw in here. I'm going to pretend I'm plating this for supper, for my family or friends. This is how I would want it to kind of look.
Or Gordon Ramsay.
Or Gordon Ramsay, yeah.
Guy's been watching cooking videos.
Again, I don't want to go against what I said earlier, so I'm going to take off. These.
Hi Paula, hi Carol. Nice of you guys to stop in.
Yeah, family, friends. Sure, my Cameron people are popping by.
Nope, not really.
Hello, happy Father's Day, everyone. To all the dads and to all the moms doing the work of dads. I know a few of those out there.
We do.
Okay, there we go. We are almost there. The sweet potatoes in my house tend to go like, as if they're French fries. They just fly off the shelf. Kids love them. They are beautiful. Just gonna be in a stack of fries here. Am I telling lies or is this the truth?
No, it's a little bit shaky today because I'm sweating.
Okay. There we go.
But it's true, you love the sweet potatoes that Dad does.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's put this here for now. I have a pan. I'm just gonna go. Let him sit there. Okay, back to the chimichurri sauce. We're gonna whiz this up. We'll show you how to do this, and then we're gonna finish. I'm gonna grill our steaks. That'll be pretty fast. So I'm gonna put my garlic in here as well. This is super simple.
I've actually never seen you make this.
Some lime juice. I did bring my zester, but you could add the zest in here as well. It's very.
I was gonna ask him if he was gonna do that.
It's a beautiful flavor.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, you can smell that.
Doesn't it smell amazing?
Yeah, I love the smell of lime. And again, if you don't use the zest, it's a bit of a waste. I just forgot to bring my zester today with me, and I'm running out of time, I think. So,
No,
You're doing great.
okay.
only about half an hour in.
You can see I'm measuring very carefully all my ingredients.
Would you like me to get something for you to zest?
No,
No?
it's done. You zest your citrus before you do anything with it.
Yes.
Okay, some red wine vinegar. cup or so. And plenty of olive oil. And so all that happens with this, I hope that the plug-in works.
We're gonna find out.
Yeah.
This is the first real big cooking adventure you've done out here. Success.
Kind of want to get nice and emulsified and creamy. Some olive oil in there.
That one?
Get a spatula for this. So you want to kind of make sure it gets creamy as possible. A blender works well for this. If you happen to have a food processor, then you're just doomed to have this, but I like them when it's nice and smooth. So let it keep going.
Too chunky.
Yeah. Excuse me. Okay. Yeah, let's just taste. It's nice.
Taste.
Sure. Here. And?
That's good.
Some stuff? Not too salty?
Nope.
There's a little acidity to it.
A lot of herbs in
As fine
there.
as I like to have it, but it is pretty good. So next is the steaks. The steaks have been resting for 20 minutes now. I am going to take, if you remember that rub we did last week. Wait next time.
Sorry.
If you remember that rub we did last week, I brought the rest over here today. So
For what recipe? Remind me?
that's Willie's Wild Wonderful Rub. It's a silly name, but that's
Oh, for the ribs.
That's from the cookbook. This is from the ribs we did last week.
So anyone can go back and watch your videos where, Mika?
On our YouTube channel, Mika Koskela, just search it up.
Plugging it.
Now I'm plugging it because that's where all the material is stored.
That's right. I will post the link in the comments.
So I'm only with this one on my my flank steak. The flank steak is going to get a nice little bit of this rub on it. I would really love it if anyone has any questions about the cut of meat they have. I can definitely answer those for you. Here we go. That's the grains in the packaging.
No questions so far.
Now,
What's your favorite cut of meat to use to barbecue?
I find that tough sirloin is nice and flavorful. I tend to really like strip loin, but it can be pricey. You can do them whole on the barbecue, but kind of steaks is really nice. That's what you tend to get at the golf courses a lot, is you get strip loin steaks. That's like their jam. They go to that all the time, strip loins. They tend to be nice and tender. One thing I've tried recently is dry aging some steaks. So taking them, putting them on a rack in the oven, and then in the fridge, uncovered for a couple days, just to help intensify the flavor. Did it once, worked really well, and I'll definitely try it again. So what I do here now with my steaks is these guys here. I am not going to really season them. I season this one here because I put a little olive oil on it too. But I'm debating.
What are you debating?
I'm debating because you can put salt, pepper, and olive oil. The problem is it's going to flare up a bit. We didn't have that problem with the veggies, but I'm thinking I'll be fine like this. Like I said, when we usually do the steaks, we'll let them rest for a while. So when they're resting, I can take them, I can season them when they got the grill, or after I flip them once. I think that's what I'll do this time here, except for this guy here. Just put a little oil on it, just to help that marinade to stick a little more.
And Lee said her ribs turned out awesome last week.
Perfect. I wonder if anyone tried that quick recipe for the barbecue sauce. We had that and it was a hit, for sure. Okay?
We're ready.
I'm ready to go. I am going to
Oh,
I keep going back.
my face showed
Yours?
and it flipped. Would you double? If you double tap now?
Okay.
I just saw it. That's so funny, Kai. Good help's hard to find, Dad.
It is. Okay. All the ingredients are on the list. So I'm just going to take a pan here Just because the way I have it laid out, I didn't want to do it, but I am going to do it after all. This is how you often see steaks at when you're at the butcher shop. They'll be pre-seasoned for you. So some garlic powder, salt, pepper, olive oil, and I love smoked paprika. You can tell by the recipes that I use it in. I'm just going to do this here quickly. A nice trick that we started doing a while back as well, when you're slicing, a good quality olive oil after it's sliced before when you serve it is a really beautiful trick. So.
Kathy said her ribs also turned out great.
Okay.
So good to hear.
That's fantastic.
You're not like a hairdresser where you can't recreate the look after.
Yeah, true. Sometimes the taste you can't always replicate because you have that certain ingredient or that extra little bit of love you put into it.
All about the love.
Okay. Trying to touch the meat if I can help it. Now this is a mountain of meat. The reason why I got so much is because we love leftovers. Ella can eat a full one yourself. Also can I. And I just want to show you some different cuts. Within this and this one here. So let's go over to the grill.
I love bacon.
And I love to sweat too. So I'm gonna crank the temp. It was over 500 degrees. It's a nice hot temp right now. Before I want to show you that I have my pan. Oops.
Oh.
After I don't need it. My pan ready to go for resting. Since this, my flank steak is so much thinner. I'm gonna throw on my top sirloin first because they're a good at least inch in thickness. Okay, and they are gonna be nice to grill.
You're stealing some of that rub?
I'm gonna try to put them all on the same kind of direction, starting at the back.
Is there a reason you want them in the
I
same
want
direction?
to get some nice grill marks. And if you ever seen that kind of crosshatch mistake, because they only flip it 3 times.
Ooh.
So before we're gonna take that thinner steak, the flank steak, and we're gonna put that on after when I flip these. Okay. Some good tips for you doing barbecuing. Don't to test doneness. The little trick that I go by. It's tougher to do with thinner steaks, but with thicker steaks. So if you take the palm of your hand, if you have it open and rested, this is rare. Touch this. This is rare. This would be medium rare, medium, and well done. Doesn't matter how big you are, how thin you are, I think almost everyone has the same amount of padding here, but that's a nice little trick. Temps are good to go by. Again, look them up. Realize that after when they're resting, they will go up by about 10 degrees. They tend to go up, so if you have it, let's say at medium rare, it'll kind of carry over into medium.
That's a good little trick with your
Yeah.
hand.
Okay, I'm getting a couple small flames. I'm gonna let it sit for a little longer, a couple minutes by its side. My family likes our steaks like rare to medium rare. Sometimes I mess up with the thinner steaks, and they can get a little bit on the medium side. And they don't throw them back and say this is garbage. They just say, well, this was okay, but better enough next time, Dad. That's how yours goes. Well, I'm waiting for.
But he never undercooks them.
I never undercook them. What?
But you never undercook them.
No.
No.
Always cooks it perfect.
And if you did, I would
Overcook
say, the vet could still keep it alive.
Okay, we're gonna do this right here, Clyde.
You're being silly.
Yes.
So instead of doing, you can do it in 2 ways. Like this, and like this, or I'm gonna flip them, okay? So one time,
Ooh.
go back on this side here, it's nice and hot, like that. So here's the second one on, okay? Now, these aren't sticking very much because I did oil them before going on. Now, on goes my flank steak.
You did your potato trick.
It's worked on and off for me. If you take a raw potato, you cut it in half, and the cut side, you rub that on your barbecue with the pair of tongs, it really does a good job of making it non-stick. I'm not sure what exactly happens, but it's a nice little trick that I got from Dan's Uncle Joe. It's really cool. We're waiting for the steaks to cook. So again, another couple minutes. Yeah, we're about 400 degrees. There are a lot of different ways of cooking steaks. You can do them in the sous vide, you can do them in the smoker, and then finish them on the grill. This is more traditional, like we're gonna go outside, we're gonna cook a steak on a fire, and we're just gonna finish these off. But the important bit is gonna be to rest these. When you're done, when you have the doneness you want to rest them so that they have a chance for all the juices inside to settle. If you have a steak and you take it off the grill, I'm gonna show you in a second, and you cut it open, all the water and the juices inside are just gonna spill everywhere because they haven't had a chance to redistribute. If you let them settle down a bit, let them rest, they'll do that for you. It'd be a beautiful, beautiful thing.
Keeps them more moist.
It keeps the moisture inside.
And cutting them in the right direction is also very important.
Cutting in the right directions for tenderness, for sure. Okay, so my back, I'm flaring up a little bit back there. This guy here. Now you notice the cross mark this way? I'm gonna flip it so that the grill marks it this way now. This one here, do this way, and make sure that they're down. Comes with a bit of experience, but it's kind of like 1 and 1 equals 2 almost. It just takes a little bit of thoughtfulness, just a little bit of thoughtfulness. I'm leaving my flank sticks still on there. They're all going to rest the same period of time. Because it doesn't seem to have that. He's getting there. Back there. I'm not even touching these yet. I know they're way too rare, rather thick, and they're not just not going to be there yet. I'm not sure if I should keep you online as you let these rest, but about 5 minutes is what we should probably do to let them rest. And you talk your ear off. We can discuss some strategies. Please ask me to cut some meat. When you see in the grocery store and you pick or a butcher shop, you see cuts like eye of round, some like sirloin tip or other steaks like that style. They're mainly meant for marinating. So you want to have some kind of acid where they'll have a chance to tenderize a little more. They want to add some flavor to those. Cuts like beef tenderloin, they benefit a lot more from adding some fat. So either wrapping it with some bacon and grilling it, because they tend to be very lean meats. Cuts like top sirloin have definitely a good amount of fat in them. There's a beautiful fat cap, usually marbling to a strip loin, and then the rib steaks were actually my favorite, I think, which I couldn't get. Those are really nice, but there's a good amount of fat in them, and that helps to keep it moist.
What about like a T-bone? A lot of people seem to love T-bone steaks.
T-bones are great too. There's a plenty amount of fat. You're looking for ones that have marbling, like a generous amount of marbling, which is the fat that's inside the muscle. So the white flecks in the muscle, not just the big fat cap on top. Okay, one more flip of these guys.
What about marinades? Is a question from Wendy Sallow.
Marinades.
What do you suggest for marinating?
You can do Asian styles. The biggest thing is having Asian style. You can do.
What would you do for an Asian style, for example?
Probably some rice wine vinegar, lemon and lime, soya sauce, sesame seed oil. That'd be really nice in there. Garlic and ginger. That'd be beautiful. Again, make sure you have enough acid in it, and to make sure that you take it out and you let them. Don't put them on wet. Just to pat them off a bit. Otherwise, you'll have flare-ups galore. It's gonna be a lot worse than we've seen here at my grill. Off the top of my head, there are a lot of good little recipes. You can use some dressings. Balsamic dressing with vinegar. It's really great for steaks too. Anything that has an acid, so balsamic vinegar, white wine, red wine, fantastic. Okay, so I'm gonna look here. These are rare, but they have spots where they're going to be medium rare. This one still feels a little rare. This one's back is going to be medium rare to my liking anyways. I'm going to kind of, it's still a bit rare.
Frank Cindy said, looks amazing. When's dinner?
And my flank steak. In my family, we just don't like to overcook the meats. We're not a big, like, overcooked meat is kind of like, it's just too much. We like, if we have to, I'll fire it back on the grill for a little bit. Once you kind of go over that doneness, it's not as enjoyable.
Are you falling asleep there, buddy? Monica's wondering if we're keeping you from your nap.
Can they hear it?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, I'm closing that up for now. I'm gonna put that pan on the side.
I
And
think you're melting. That's part of the problem.
I'm gonna rinse my hands off quickly. I'm gonna take my chimichurri sauce out. Yeah, a nice little trick. If you can't get to wash your hands, just some soapy water and it'll help to cleanse while you're going. But I'll try to wash my hands as soon as I get back inside. Okay. Chimichurri. I'm gonna go into this bowl here. And this can last a week or two in the fridge. I've held it for a while. As long as you put a little bit of olive oil on top. That's so beautiful. There's a nice acid in there. The flavors are just nice and fresh. Okay, I am super happy with that. Let's unplug Mr. Food Processor. Let's go grab my steaks. Two thumbs. Tired, man.
Yeah, I am.
If you enjoy your steaks a little bit more on the well done side, find your thinnest steak. If you someone likes it, put it in an upper rack if you have to. Turn the temp down and close the lid. It's a good strategy. You won't get a super amount of char on it, and it'll be done. My family, we like ours more or less knowing.
Yeah, we're pretty lucky that way.
Yeah, they're not to be fussy people. I have some in-laws who I'm not gonna name any names, but they're like their shoe leather. Hint, hint.
My family?
No, my family.
I was gonna say.
My side.
Uh-huh.
More people, the in-laws. I'm just saying. Okay, turn the temp off. These are going to rest. They're going to rest over the counter here and get a little foil and let them sit. And please send your questions in, if you can.
You have to fill a few minutes here, and you don't want to be bored.
Yes, I'm super bored standing here. I have to crack a beer open and wait for questions to come up. Well, while you're waiting for these to rest, actually what I can do is I'm going to improvise. My pan's covered my vegetables and cover my steaks.
Beautiful vegetables.
Yeah. And my grill is off, but I'm going to fire this whole pan on top of the rack out here. Just to keep it warm. I'm not going to close it because that thing's still blazing hot. So on my nice big cutting board here, I do have, come on this way, Kai. Get this off. Have a damp rag underneath, just as clean.
So Frank is asking, why do you leave it rest, the meat?
Well, again, just to reiterate, it helps to redistribute the juices. So if you slice it right away, I'll take one right now, I'll show you.
Slice a little piece.
You're gonna ruin one?
I'm gonna ruin
Slice,
a small one.
slice a little small piece.
Yeah.
No, Dad, cut this piece off.
Yeah.
Good idea, buddy.
So the juices, even though it's nice and rare, are just gonna start like just coming out. So it's gonna start. It's well, there's a chance to really.
Dad, try a piece.
Well, it's not a rest. It's all good.
You still want it?
So
Oh.
we've got a couple of questions here while we're
Still
waiting. Kathy says the barbecue sauce from last week. Would you use that on the steak?
If you're into that, we're more of the family that like kind of likes a little bit of marinade, some salt, pepper, and olive oil. If you like your barbecue sauce from last week and that's your style, definitely instead of using the rub like I did there, you can just take it and grill it, and then put the rub on there, and then lather a bit of the barbecue sauce on top, and then just kind of as a finishing. Let it get some nice good char on one side. When you flip it, that's where you kind of want to add a little bit.
And Monica's asking, what is your favorite or is the best type of cutting board? That's a good question.
I do prefer wood cutting boards, but you have to treat them with respect. This one here I got from a friend, and it was a little bit tough to begin with, but they got little cracks and imperfections. Glass ones are definitely a no-no. Those are kind of ridiculous. The plastic ones work well, but if you do get a lot of nicks and scratches in them, especially deep gouges, get rid of them because they just harbor bacteria. Wooden ones I do like because you can refinish them, you can treat them with oils and make sure that they do stand this time.
You've got a number of different types. Oh yeah, look at the liquid in there. Ooh,
it's just coming out.
We got lots of steak left.
Yes.
Plus our fish and chips.
Supporting the Legion tonight, yep.
Yeah, so we're gonna be eating pretty soon, but I'm not gonna stress things up. It's been only about a minute or two. I'm still waiting another 3 minutes.
Why don't you take this opportunity to talk about how you would slice it? What's the correct direction while you're...
Yeah, so let's go through this. The way I cut it through, you can see there is the grain of the meat. If you look at the top section, it's tough to see, but there's striations coming this way. So this is the grain of the meat. If I cut it this way, I'm cutting with the grain. So you can see the grain is coming this way. This means that it's gonna have long, chewy pieces. It won't be tender. They'll be tough to chew. They're not gonna be tender. It won't fall apart in your mouth.
It almost tastes fibrous that way.
Well, it's the fibers of the meat. Whereas if you have this cross section, like this, there's the bundles of meat like this, and you're gonna be cutting down through them. Makes them nice and tender. You'll see this in the flank steak. I'll do that one first. It's the thinnest one we have. The flank steak is gonna show I'll show you the cuts in the flank steak.
I find this is the most important step, Mika, because I think you can take a really expensive piece of meat and ruin it by not cutting it the right way.
For sure.
Says sous chef Leanne.
I don't want to keep these totally covered, but even here, I'm still losing some meat, even though I have really cut these. But there's still some. I'm losing liquid from the.
Is there a raccoon in there?
Yeah, raccoon. Okay, let this sit for a little bit. Again, a couple more minutes. I'll let it sit, but I'll show you how important this one is for slicing. Most steaks, you can tell the doneness. Okay, yeah. For most steaks, you can tell where the grain and the direction that it goes in. Some steaks or cuts of meat will kind of alter or change a bit depending upon the cut. Yeah, question?
So not kind of like these, those marks.
Well, you see how these are going this way?
Yeah.
This one didn't get very good grill marks.
So do you cut against that?
Yeah, you cut. So the meat's this way.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna cut it this way.
Okay.
Not in the same direction.
Person change.
Not in the same direction, because that's going to cause for really stringy and chewy product. Okay, and I'm almost there. I'm really being impatient. I really want to get going, but I know how important this step is.
It's very.
And I can still feel the heat emanating off these. Like, they're not getting cold. That's the thing. They're not getting ice cold. They're just, the inside is just coming, because the outside is so hot and it's bubbling on the outside. The inside is still nice and medium rare. So these are slowly kind of redistributing the heat as well as the moisture. What do you say? Can we go?
Cool.
5 minutes? I want to go. Okay, I'm just going to cut off a couple of these for you. So, flank steak. Really good Asian cut. This one with like steak. You can do like Southwest kind of style, like barbecue or Asian. It's a really nice cut. I'm gonna just cut me as if I didn't know any better. So, long striations, tough as hell.
Oh, I see.
What you want to do is have this here, and I like to angle a little bit. Relatively thin for the flank steak, and you see the cuts, they're all going the same way. This flank steak is a little pricey, but the flavor is so good, and it's a nice you don't have to have a lot of it. That's the thing. With a beautiful some side dishes, you do not need a lot.
There's still quite a bit of liquid coming out, but
Yeah, I'm also pressing on it too.
Lee said thank you. Wow, learnt again so much. Thank you today.
Yeah, it's still actually coming in. I could let it rest a little longer, but let me just get
For
Ella's.
the sake of time.
Let's let Ella's plate here. Let's pretend it's Ella's birthday, which is tomorrow.
Haha.
Happy birthday, Ella, tomorrow.
Thank you.
We've got a nice little plate here. With color from everything for Ella, Belle.
Sure. That looks really nice, Dad.
Cool. With color from everything, and let's go finish off with some of our nice. I'll have this blood on the side.
Lee says happy birthday, Ella.
Thank you.
Some chimichurri sauce on to the steak. Ella's gonna love that. On the side there. And a little bit of
Meat egg too, honey.
some fresh cilantro, just for a punch of color. And there you go. Let your steak rest longer because it's gonna start doing that, okay? I was a little impatient, but anyways, pleasure being with you. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Again, Mika Costco on YouTube, and have a great Father's Day weekend. I hope the weather holds up.